If you're a JC citizen, rock this party like a JC citizen.
No rapping. Don't rap. No rapping. Okay. Hey, yeah, 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 oh, oh. Yeah, na na na, baby, yeah, yeah, oh. Hey, 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 oh, yes, oh. Yeah, I'm not standing on my, I get it on my plate. I know what you got, baby. You don't have to say my name. I know you say my name day and night and every day. I call it out, I call it out. Oh, oh, I call it out. Hey, you say my name.
You know, this is an important message, you know, for you guys out there. Come over here and have a listen, you know, because you might get something out of this. Because I'm for real, you know, I speak to a lot of people, I work with a lot of leaders, and this is the time, you know, this is your time. And you know, when I was in the islands and I realized that, you know, coming from a small island like Rarotonga to achieving all these successes that I've achieved in my life, you know, but the most important thing was to come back to our people, to our youth, to see what is going on. And here tonight, Nina's given us the platform to see what we really need to do in our community for the change, you know, because this is what our youth is all about. And we have our traditional cultures that we have, but unfortunately, there's a big gap between our youth and our traditions, and we got to find the middle ground. And the problem lies not only with our traditions and with our youth, it's bringing it all together and making it work, and that's the key to it. And you know, when I was in the islands and I used to grow up as a boy, you know, for those of you who live here, who were brought up here, man, you got it good. You know, I used to live off, you know, I used to go, I don't know if you know about feeding pigs and, you know, plantations and all of that. I was talking to one of the brothers here early on, and I said, man, I used to look at kids that used to walk around with Nike shoes and think, one day, man, I wish I had like Nike shoes, and I've got some right now, you know. But you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to, you know, realize, like, you know, and be grateful for what you have, because we're always looking for the things that are, you know, the material things, eh? But we forget that as Polynesians, you know, the most important thing to us is our family. You know, it used to be faith, you know, but we need to rebuild our faith, because our faith is one of the most important things that can really take you to the level that you want to go to. And I know I've been in the situation where you guys were, you know, where you are right now. You know, I've been through drugs, alcohol, you know, like whatever you want to call it, success, fame, money, fast cars, been there, done that, you know. And now, you know, God's just blessed me with this opportunity to share with each and every one of you right now, you know, right here. And there's this verse that I just want to like really, you know, just put out there, and it's Galatians 6:9, and it's do not grow weary in doing good, for in due time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. You got to look at that verse, and think about it. Like that verse there, what it shows me that there's three things to success. The first one is, you know, be a good person. You know, and you know, for us islanders, it's natural. It's as natural as it can be. If you go to the islands, and if you haven't been there before, you'll just see, man, how happy our people are. And the next one is, you know, being patient. You know, when you're young, you know, sometimes you want things really fast. But, you know, in order for the things that you want in life, you have to be patient. You know, that comes with time and hanging out with the right people. You got to make sure you got the right people around you. Like I said, iron sharpens iron. And then the most important one is I want to encourage you is never give up. Because, you know, we give up easily, you know. You know, sometimes, you know, I always encourage our people, you know, the boys and girls at our academy, is that because when you're in an academy, it's about training. You know, you want to be a champion. You got to think like a champion. You know, you can't be a sucker about getting feedback. You know, like if you lose, all right, cool. You need to find out what made you to lose and work on it. You know, not like when we lose and then we're sick about it. We sit down and we go, oh my God, you know, I want to blame this person, blame that person. No, when you get the feedback, you got to go and look at that feedback and work on what you need to do to be a champion. Because you're all champions here. You know, God has given you a gift, each and every one of you right now. And I truly believe that, you know, as the Polynesian, you are the future of the Polynesian youth, and that, you know, our people are going to change the world. You know, because the world out there, the big bad world out there, there's a lot of dramas going down, you know, but that's on the other side of the world. You know, you listen to all that gangster rap, you know, whatever rap's going on over there, but you just got to look at, man, we got our own rap, you know, in our own backyard. You know, when I was talking to Andrew, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we were thinking, man, you know, why is it that people want to always go to America and help, you know, like, there's nothing wrong going over there, helping people on that side of the world, but we got our own backyard, Polynesia. Man, Polynesia, beautiful place, full of champions. You know, we're not only good sportsmen as well, you know, sportswomen. We're also smart, intelligent, because if you want to know the history, is that our ancestors are one of the best navigators in the seas. And you go look that up, and that's in each and every one of you. You know, I always believe, you know, that you know, God has a plan for everyone. And and I'll leave you with this verse, and it's Jeremiah 29:11. You know, that God has a plan and a purpose for you, for each and every one of you. You know, He's already planned it for you. You know, I never came here, and honestly, I did not think that I'll be here today, you know, sharing this word with you, because, you know, and I never do it, but I know that God's given us the platform right here, you know, and for you to have a platform to represent. So, you know, I love you guys. You know, it's awesome to be here. If you want to come and have a chat later on and learn more about what we do, sweet, all good. God bless.
I'm going to tell it like it is, right? I'm going to tell you some real hard truths about what goes on outside of this fence, from a place that you may not have been to yet, but I've been to, and I'm one of the very few people who've survived it. I grew up in New Zealand, and when I was born, my mother threw me away. My father wasn't there, and from birth, I had no parents. Now that's a tough start. That's the very first test of courage, is to try and grow without having any mentors, any role models. You know, I got adopted. Luckily, I got raised in Auckland, South Auckland, and that set the platform for my youth. South Auckland back in those days was pretty rough. It was the time when West Side, South Side was at war, and all the gangs on the streets were killing each other. I had friends killing each other. It was rough. And you know, I was growing up, and when I got to 14 years old, my parents sat me down and they said, you know what, we're gonna divorce. These are my adopted parents. We're gonna divorce and we're gonna split. And you know what, Andrew, you're actually adopted. You're not really our kid. So, you know, that was a bit of a wake-up call for me, because at that time, when you need the most love and care in your life, the people that you trust the most abandoned me, and I was left with nothing. So my parents walked out, my original parents walked out, my adopted parents walked out, and my dad kicked me out on the street. So 14 years old, on the street, trying to make some money, trying to get a job, couldn't get a job, too young, couldn't make an income. One of my friends said, you know what, man, you're so stressed every day, you need to smoke this marijuana. It's going to make you feel good. At that time, I had nothing to lose. I had nothing left to live for. So I said, yeah, why not? So I took that marijuana, and that was the beginning of the downfall of my life. Once I started smoking that, everything started leading towards, you know, illegal. So first it was smoking drugs, then it was buying drugs. Then I had to buy drugs from criminals, and criminals led me to more criminals. And you know, these guys, they were cashed up, and I needed money, and I thought, man, I need money like these guys. How am I going to get it? So I went to them. They told me how to break into cars, houses, you know, and 14 years old, I was breaking into 5 houses a day, 7 days a week, full time. Dropped out of school, breaking into houses, led to shops, supermarkets, shopping malls, factories, was breaking into anything, anywhere. Never got caught, got chased by dogs, helicopters, running every day of my life, every day running. And, you know, that went year after year, 14 years old, 15, 16, 17, 18. And by the time I was 19, I was smuggling weapons in containers, shipping them internationally. We were shipping drugs in internationally, dropping them in the sea, waiting for the tides to bring them in. I was shipping whole containers of weapons from Korea into Africa. And we were running a passport smuggling operation out of Auckland. Counterfeit passports. I was working with the mongrel mob at that time. We were doing counterfeit money, counterfeit credit cards. You know, all my friends were on drugs. Most of them were in jail. Or they had kids that they didn't know how to look after. You know, I went to one of my mates' houses. We went to the garage, we were sitting down, just talking to him. I was talking to him, he dropped the acid tab into his eye, picked up a joint, sparked it. He had his baby sitting there on the side. 18-month-old baby, trying to rock the baby, smoking a joint, bottle of Corona, sitting on the table, talking to me. I looked at that and I was like, man, this is how far down it's gone. You know, 19 years old, finally I got caught. The police busted down the house, they sealed off the whole neighborhood, armed defenders squad, came and busted through, arrested me, put me in jail. That was the wake-up call. When you hit the prison, it's a whole different story then. All your friends who you think are your friends on the street, the ones who are encouraging you to do the crimes, they're not there for you. And that was the message that I got, was that you need to really, really pay attention to who your friends really are. And I never had friends like positive friends. You know, all my friends were negative and they were always pushing me, go do this, go on, you know, peer pressure. And I would always just want to be cool. So I did it. And I ended up in jail. After coming out of jail, I had that realization. I decided to change my life, my direction. Because like the brother said, God does have a plan for you. And when you recognize what that is, you'll find that the path opens up. When I came out and I decided to change my way, I got rid of all my friends. I found new friends. I started finding new knowledge. I realized that I didn't know how to survive legally. So I went out and I learned how do you make a business? How do you make money? How do you manage a job? And I took all of that knowledge. I found knowledge about how to come clean, how to connect with the right people. And after 12 months, I walked into the police station, handed in, and I basically did a confession. They took the confession, wiped my criminal record, wiped every single crime, 975 crimes that I'd committed, wiped everything off my record, gave me a letter, said, you've done amazing work to turn yourself around. You deserve it, well done. And I'm a free man. So for 16 years since that time, I recognized, you know, that was a gift from God. That was a gift given to me that, you know, what do you do with that? And I looked at all the people that I helped that led up to that, and I realized that that's my calling, to serve. And I should, you know, that's why I'm here, is to help others with the story, that to show people that it can be done. You know, people that go down that path, you can come back from that. And that's why I volunteer, 16 years working in the community, working with youth, getting people out of prisons, working with drug rehabilitation centers. And man, I love it. You know, it fulfills my life. I love to see positive youth getting together. So, you know, I really acknowledge you guys for what you're doing tonight and what this church has put together. Thank you for the time.